What it do, fam? Just basically out here looking at trees. It's a lot of different trees. And so, like, you know, you can use a plant identifier app to basically identify these trees. Like, look at this old pecan tree here. It gotta be at least 100 and some years old. Whoa, old tree right here. Gotta be at least 100 and some years old. Look how high it goes up. So, like, we still on prepping right now. And so, like, this sycamore over here. So just like, you know, when you looking at these trees, you want to be able to identify them. Whoa, look how this tree just make this unique U right here in the middle, just a big U. And look how white those limbs go all up there like that. And one thing to be aware of, like anytime you have these trees with these real big leaves on them like these are considered phytoremediators. And look how big it is. This tree gotta be at least 100 and some years old. How big or wide it is. It's like 4 or 5 people. Look at this oak tree here as well. It's another oak tree. Huge, huge tree. So like when you prepping, you want to be able to identify these trees and identify their leaves. You know, because a lot of phytoremediators and hyperaccumulators and, you know, they have real big root systems that go all the way down to the underground water aquifer. So a lot of times these trees grow where it's a lot of water at. And anytime you have a phytoremediator, a hyperaccumulator, a phreatophyte, you know, it's basically, you know, big root systems that go all the way down to the underground water aquifer. Look at this mimosa here. This is a unique tree as well. Look, got that poison ivy growing up here. Look at old poison ivy growing up here, but it's the mimosa tree. That's how its bark look. And that mimosa tree is actually a nitrogen fixer tree because it's in the legume family. Legume mean that, you know, it have a lot of pods on it, just like your beans are. It's a big tree here. And so we just digging on hyperaccumulators. Hyperaccumulators are the trees that clean the air, they clean the soil, and they basically clean the groundwater. So they clean the water, the air, and they clean, you know, the dirt. So a lot of these trees are hyperaccumulator. They also phytoremediators. And a lot of them are also phreatophytes. Phreatophytes meaning that, you know, your trees with your big leaves on them, you know, they have a real big root system that go all the way down to the underground water aquifers. And look at this big, huge magnolia tree. And so, like, you know, if you're going to be prepping or anything of that sort, you know, the first thing that you want to do, you want to be able to identify plants. You want to be able to identify trees. Whoa, look at this big boy here. It's huge. It goes all the way up. The tree got to be at least 100 and some years old. 175. I mean, you can just tell by the size of it. You know, trees are huge. So if you're gonna be prepping, you wanna basically know your trees. You wanna know your plants that's all around you first. Know their functions.